feel the tension. We could cut it with a knife. I know it's more than just a friendship. I can hear you thinking right, yeah. Do I gotta convince you that you shouldn't fall asleep? It'll only be a couple hours, and I'm about to leave. Do you got plans?
Good morning and welcome to Flyer News. Just like yesterday, we start our show with another video that was so last year, an episode of JJams with Jullys Souza.
After that, we have Andrew Reynolds, the sports desk, to cap us on the recent Patriots game against the Jaguars.
And to close out the show, we have a special edition of Global Conflicts with my co-anchor, Zach Stieglitz.
All that and much more coming up in today's episode of Flyer News.
We said crazy things like, I refuse to look back thinking days were better just because of younger days. I don't know what's round the corner, where I feel right now, I swear will never change. Back when we were kids, swore we would never die.
Good morning, FHS. Today is day 5 is period running BDCGF. I'm Zach Stieglitz.
And I'm Tyler Garafalo. My current favorite playlist is from the 2008 Broadway show, In the Heights. It's about all
I'm going to stop you before it's too late. But I can relate. I love obsessing over individual hits.
Honestly, I need more variety in my playlist.
Me too, which is why I can't wait for today's Turn Back Tuesday, JJams, with FHS alumni Jullys Souza.
Let's jam. Good morning, FHS, and welcome back to Flyer News.
It is officially 2017.
ZTSEXP here.
My name is Wanako.
Are you joking me?
We're gonna grow this channel to the top.
Kids, get off your phone.
Stop something right there! A chicken sandwich!
That's really good.
I don't even make a ton of videos because I'm still small.
I can't do this, man. I can't do this anymore. I have to get out. No, I have to move. I have to get out of here.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like, drop a comment. Make sure to subscribe. Adios.
Good morning, FHS. My name's Julius, and this is JJams. First up on today's show, The Weeknd dropped a brand new single. It's called After Hours, so let's check it out. Again, that song is called After Hours. In some other Weeknd news, he released a release date for his new album, also called After Hours, which is set to release on March 20th. Up next, Trippie Redd released A Love Letter to You 4 Deluxe. This album includes 6 new songs that we saw when he released the original album back in November. Let's check it out.
Shorty, you complete my world. I can never leave you, girl. Drive me to the edge of the world. Drive me crazy, Miss Pearl. Shorty, you complete my world. I can never leave you, girl. Drive me to the edge of the world. Drive me crazy, Miss Pearl.
That song was called I Love You featuring Chance the Rapper. I believe it is the first time that Chance and Trippie Redd have done a song together, so it's nice to see them working. But the 5 other songs that are added from the new deluxe album were also kind of in your feels type music. So if you're interested in that, I recommend check it out. In some unfortunate music news, up-and-coming artist Pop Smoke has died. Pop Smoke died due to a gunshot wound to the chest which he had taken during a home invasion that happened on the 19th in Beverly Hills. Earlier in the day, Pop Smoke had an Instagram Live where he accidentally exposed his address, which probably prompted the intruders to go and invade his home. That's all the time that I have for today's episode of JJams. I hope you enjoyed, so let's take it back to the desk.
Recently, COVID cases have gone up vertically. In Massachusetts, on December 31st, there were 2,702 new reported cases. On the 30th of December, but in 2020, there were 6,839 cases in Middlesex County. On December 31st, there were 4,621 reported cases, but on the same day in December 2020, there were only 1,317 reported cases. According to my math, that's a 250% gain in cases. If we continue on this track, next year we'll have around 11,592 cases, but hopefully that won't happen.
On Christmas Eve morning, Ryan Goddett, an FHS alumni, tragically died in a car crash on his way home from work. Among many other achievements, in 2015, Ryan led the FHS wrestling team to the sectional championship. Ryan will be missed, and our heartfelt condolences go out to his family and friends.
In the sports world, it's been very exciting. Recently, it's been hard to stay up to date on what's happened.
Yeah, I heard that the Patriots lost against the Jaguars on Sunday.
No, Tyler, they won. Like, they crushed them.
Oh, well, you did say it's been hard to stay up to date.
Yeah, but luckily, stay tuned. Andrew Reynolds' segment, Sports Desk, is here.
Take it away, Andrew.
Drives down and throws it down. Back in front door, shot, score! Bang, 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 bang. Won't stop till we're legends. Diving to the goal line. A touchdown for the Patriots. Hard hit into right. Back at the wall. Tie game. Won't stop till we're legends.
Good morning, FHS, and welcome back to another edition of Sports Desk. I am your host, Andrew Reynolds. So, we have a few things to go over today, so let's start off with the Pats. Should we go over Pats highlights today? Nah, I mean, what's the point? They crushed the Jags. Why would I go over highlights that really don't exist? There was no highlights from the game other than Mac Jones making some big plays. They beat the Jags 50-10 on Sunday afternoon, and are now in 5th place in the AFC, but they also clinched a playoff spot, and they got their playoff spot by beating the worst team in the NFL. But hey, Patriots still deserve it after great run during the midseason to go on. I think it was a 7-game win streak. So that's good. And other NFL news: Antonio Brown. He was cut from the Bucs after taking all of his equipment off on the sideline and throwing it into the stands. Hopefully he gets the help he needs. I think that he definitely has some mental health going on. Ever since he took up some sort of a big hit, I remember back in 2016, and ever since then he's been very off and has not been himself. So now moving on to one of the Antonio Brown's former quarterbacks, Big Ben, potentially won his last game at Heinz Field Sunday night against the Browns. The Steelers won 26-14. And for other news away from the NFL, the Bruins are 2-0 in 2022. They won 4-3 against the Buffalo Sabres on January 1st. Then they beat the Red Wings 5-1 on January 2nd. So, Bruins looking good so far this year. And now moving over to the Celtics. The Celtics are 1-0 in 2022, but currently have a 2-game win streak. On New Year's Eve, they beat the Suns 123-108. And then the Magic, they beat the Magic on January 2nd with a final score of 116-111 in overtime. Jaylen Brown scoring 50 points on the day. January 2nd, which was Sunday, was a big day for Boston sports. Just for Jaylen Brown, the Bruins, and the Patriots all winning big, or at least having somebody winning big in points, just in general. So that's all for Sports Desk this week. Until next week, reporting for Flyer News, I'm Andrew Reynolds. That's a wrap.
Zach, I am a huge fan of your segment, Global Conflicts, and would really appreciate it if you let me on your show today.
Wait, actually, that's a good idea. What would you want to talk about?
Perhaps world leaders agreeing to terms aimed at preventing a nuclear war?
Oh, or we could even talk about recent COVID news and public health regarding the Omicron variant.
Oh, I am so pumped for this episode.
Let's roll the intro.
No one ever hated. Just try to use imagination.
Airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars. I can really use a wish right now. Wish right now. Wish right now. Can we pretend that
Hello, and welcome back to Global Conflicts. Today is a special episode because there is a guest. Please welcome expert on many unidentified topics, Tyler Garafalo. Hi, Tyler. How are you doing?
I am doing fabulous, Zach.
Great to hear. Do you remember being remote?
Do I?
Well, our neighbors in Canada are going through that experience again. In Ontario, Part of a government's plan to limit the spread of the Omicron COVID-19 variant, the Ontario government announced on Monday that starting Wednesday all funded public schools will move to remote learning until at least January 17th, which is subject to public trends and operational considerations.
But even though their schools are closing, there will be an exception for childcare operations, including emergency childcare. Some examples of groups who might still go to school are in-person teaching for students with special education needs who can't learn remotely, and for staff who are unable to deliver quality instruction from home. Omicron is really spreading, and it's caused a mix of reactions throughout the world.
Yeah, definitely. Here's a few examples. Germany is cautious but optimistic. Michael Weber, the president of Germany's Senior Doctors Hospital Association, said Omicron variant could ease pressure on German health system if it turned out to produce a milder illness, even though infections were rising. As Omicron spreads, Germany daily infections have been rising in recent days after falling steadily in December. The number of beds occupied in the intensive care ward has also ticked up.
But not all countries have the same reaction. In Amsterdam, the lockdown caused protests. Riot police with batons and shields broke up a crowd of several thousand who gathered in Amsterdam on Sunday to protest against COVID-19 lockdown measures and vaccinations. For the most part, the protesters didn't wear masks or abide by social distancing rules. They ignored an order not to hold a march and walked along Main Thoroughfare, playing music and holding yellow umbrellas in a sign of opposition to government measures.
Yeah, there are many ways Omicron is getting reacted. Like the New Delhi chief minister says, no need to panic. Another reaction is the UK looking to increase testing, but new restrictions are a last resort.
Another important topic is the 5 nuclear weapon states show their thoughts on preventing nuclear war and avoiding arms races.
Yeah, the People's Republic of China, the French Republic, the Russian Federation, the United Kingdom of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, and the United States of America consider the avoidance of nuclear weapon states and the reduction of strategic risks their foremost responsibility. They agree that a nuclear war cannot be won and it shouldn't be fought because nuclear wars would have far-reaching consequences. They also affirm nuclear weapons, as long as they exist, should serve defense purposes, such as to deter aggression and prevent war. They believe strongly the further spread of weapons must be prevented.
America showed their importance to their desire to work with all states to create a security environment and more conducive progress on this disarmament. They have the ultimate goal of a world without nuclear weapons. They intend to continue seeking bilateral and multilateral diplomatic approaches to avoid military confrontations, strengthen stability and predictability, increase mutual understanding and confidence, and prevent an arms race that would benefit none and endanger all.
Hopefully, one day nuclear warfare will not be a concern in the future. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Global Conflicts, and I hope you also enjoyed today's episode of Flyer News. You can rewatch this broadcast at 5 and 7 o'clock on channels 8 Comcast, 15 RCM, or 41 Verizon Fios.
Or you can watch this and other broadcasts under the FEC TV tab on the school's website or our YouTube channel.
But don't go anywhere because we have a great episode of The Early Bird. For Flyer News, I'm Zach Stieglitz.
And I'm Tyler Garafalo. Have a terrific Tuesday, FHS.